I just want to do a quick video and show you guys how I use my quad hard drive setup with my coco1. So I'm using a Super IDE with a 256 megabyte compact flash as my drive 0 master drive. I have 3 Fireball IDE physical drives that act as my slave, and I select them with a ROMTech IDE selector. So I'm basically using an old Trios 2000 IDE hard drive selector by ROMTech and 3.5 inch external hard drive cases. So obviously the Super IDE will only allow you to use 2 hard drives with the Coco at one time. So I use the CF card as my drive 0 master all the time, and then use the ROMTech selector to determine which of the 3 physical Fireball IDE drives are going to act as the slave. So I have drive 0, drive 1, drive 2, and drive 3. I'm going to use the ROMTech, and for this example we'll just say drive 2. So I'm now going to use the compact flash as my master drive 0, and because I've selected number 2, drive number 2 is going to be the slave for this example. So we'll come over here and turn the Coco on. Maybe we'll put the Super IDE in first, then turn the Coco on, and it should boot up to drive master drive. So there, tools 0, tools drive 0, and then you'll see I got a couple utilities, but for the most part drive 0 is just my games drive. And I can go to drives or tools 0, and actually I can even launch my SDC from here also. So there's the SDC using SDC Explorer. That's mainly if I just want to move some programs from my SDC to my hard drives, I can just do it that way. But I'll go back to the IDE, Super IDE, and that should boot me back up to the master drive 0 of the Super IDE. And sure enough it is, tools drive 0. So I'm going to switch my drive using the drive selector, and drive 0 is my master, drive 1 is the slave. So I'm just going to hit 1. It doesn't really matter. I'm not going to hit drive 2 or drive 3 because the Coco is only going to recognize drive 0 or drive 1, drive 0 being the master and drive 1 being the slave, and the slave is just determined with the ROMTech selector's position. So I've set it at drive 2. So drive 2 will act as my slave, which is called 1. So we'll do that, and it should boot up to my drive 2. Let's find out. And there you go, sure enough, tools drive 2. And drive 2 is got the Learning Lab on it, and it's mainly just utilities. So anyway, that's how I use a quad hard drive setup with my coco1. So it allows me to have 4 hard drives, an SDC, and a pair of physical drives.